Hey guys, so as I said at the end of the last video, this is going to be a pretty strong build, or at least I hope for it. I did defeat Uber Atziri for the first time ever at level 83, just because I needed it for challenges. And I did Uber Elder at level 89, but in the end this build felt kinda weird. I have never played with Soul Tether build before, and this is not the best use of it, because you want a permanent Vaal pact, you want maximum leech rate, and it probably works better with attacks rather than spells. But nonetheless, this build ended up doing all endgame content, except for Legion battles. It did not go so well, and my Lightning Discharger did feel much better for Legion battles. I'm also reusing some items from this charge build, like +1 power charge helmet and dual void batteries. Other items include 6-link Inpulsa and a simple lighting pen Watcher's Eye, and of course Soul Tether belt is pretty cheap. Now the way Soul Tether works, and I'm gonna be quoting Mark, it lets you leech life, but while you are on full life, your life leech effects are not removed from you, and those life leech effects will recover energy shield rather than life. They are still life leech effects and not ES leech, and first are scaled based on your life, and affected by life leech modifiers, not ES leech modifiers. This is so that item can continue to fulfill its role of letting hybrid ES life builds use life leech to recover both statuses. As I understand from this statement is that adding energy leech support gem improves ES recovery even more, but it is of course capped at maximum ES, and that's 20% ES per second. And then leech coming from Soul Tether. Then I'm also using Corrupted Soul Keystone from Glorious Vanity, Doryani's jewel, which gives 20% of maximum life as extra maximum energy shield, and 50% of non-chaos damage taken bypasses energy shield. This allows me to get decent ES pool, and I have a bit over 7k effective life. And other than Soul Tether, it doesn't have any complicated mechanics. Impulsa helps with the clear speed, void batteries are big damage and scales well with power charges. I did some calculation, and a rough estimation of unleashed ball lighting is around 1.7 million. That is accounting for 25% less damage on repeated balls, and damage being done for at least 1 second for each ball. The issue with ball lighting is that it checks for critical strike roll on skill use, so either all balls and all hits will be crit or none will be crit. That is why I have tried to push the crit rate as high as possible, and when it crits it does a lot of damage. During Uber Elder 2 or 3 full unleashes, basically phases Shaper and Elder. But of course the way lighting damage is, it has from very low damage to very high damage, so it can crit for much more or much less, to the point where your full blown crit unleash may do very little damage. But damn is it fun to see this train of balls just pass through bosses and shred them. Now let's talk about items quickly, then skills and passive skill tree. Void batteries from my previous build, one is corrupted with increased AoE, Impulsa, which I managed to finally 6-link, and it is my first self 6-linked item this league. Helmet from previous build as well, costed me 2 exals +1 power charge. Gloves, I wanted lots of life, but I also wanted global blind chance, and open prefix so I can craft +1 socketed gems and increased AoE mod, and put Orb of Storms in it. Boots, life, resistance, and some ES. Also these boots have attack dodge, and you kind of want boots enchantment for chance to avoid the stuns, since stuns are based on your maximum life and I don't have a lot of it, so I would keep getting stunned every 2 seconds after avoiding 1 stun from Pantheon power, and that's not really pleasant. The amulet I crafted myself and got pretty lucky. I wanted maximum total recovery per second from leech. This mod basically raises your leech cap from 20% per second, which is pretty important for Soul Tethers, and I wanted it to have open suffix to be able to craft focus mode for leech and Vaal pact. I do have 0.5% elemental leech from Elementalist node, but Vaal pact basically doubles your leech cap, which gives you extreme sustain during focus. As for rings, besides life and resistances, I also had some mana issues, and regen alone may not be enough if you want to just stand and spam your ball lightings without waiting for seals to recharge. So one of the rings I crafted for mana gain on hit by your spells, and other with mana regen plus minus mana cost. Soul Tether build I bought corrupted with wrath effect. Flask, I keep reusing this diamond flask on all of my crit builds. Then granite to help mitigate smaller physical hits. Sulfur flask for a bit more damage. And this time I only have 1 life flask because I felt comfortable enough with Soul Tether, and the only time I had issues was during Uber Lab run, when there are no enemies to leech life from. It is very scary. As for jewels, Watcher's Eye with Wrath, penetration, Legion Jewel like I said, and then life, maybe some resistances, crit multipliers for spells, and a very simple jewel with flat life, phasing, and a bit of flat cold damage to spells to be able to chill enemies from Elementalist node. Now, skills and links. Ball lighting level 21 quality 0, linked with slower projectiles, added lighting damage level 21 quality 0, 20 quality if you can afford it, energy leech, lighting penetration, and unleash. And you could swap Unleash with Spell Echo, but you may have bigger mana issues. Then Orb of Storms in +1 gloves linked with increased critical strike chance, power charge on crit, arcane surge level 3. I felt like I needed increased critical strikes for this, because before you get maximum power charges your critical strike chance is pretty low, and it may take a while to start ramping them up. Against single target of course. Against big enemy packs it's not an issue. Then I got Zealotry and Wrath linked with level 3 and Lighten. And then here's the trick how to get high level Curse on a low level cast and damage taken. I have level 1 cast and damage taken linked with level 7 Wave of Conviction, linked with Curse on hit, and high level Curse, which is Conductivity in this case. This way Curse level is too high, so cast and damage taken does not trigger it. However, Curse on hit support still triggers it even if the skill itself was triggered by cast and damage taken. So this Wave of Conviction applies high level Curse and applies lighting exposure, lowering enemies lighting resistance even more. Then I have a bit higher level cast and damage taken, level 7, linked with Immortal Call level 9, also linked with Stormbrand and power charge on crit. While mapping I sometimes kept forgetting to cast my Orb of Storms to be able to generate power charges. So this helped a bit. And then finally I have Vaal Righteous Fire linked with increased duration and of course Flame Dash. Now as for the passive skill tree, this is Elementalist, and the first thing I took from Ascendancy was Elemental Leech. Since Warlock's Mark no longer works with spells, I felt like I needed life sustain. I also picked a jewel near Mind Over Matter as soon as possible to gain that 20% extra ES. From Cruel Lab, since Shaper of Desolation in my opinion is complete trash node, I went with the Pendulum of Destruction, but after Merciless Lab I refunded it to be able to get Beacon of Ruins as soon as possible for guaranteed 15% increased damage against shocked enemies, which actually gets scaled up to 19% because effect of shock from Inpulsa and one more node on the passive skill tree. And the rest is just getting all the power charges, life, crit, and as you can see there are more life nodes nearby, so this build would benefit a lot if you could push it over level 90. At level 95 you could reach almost 8000 effective life, and that's about all. I'm not entirely sure what my next build is gonna be, but you can always catch me streaming and see the build that I'm working on. So for now, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.